Good morning. As I told in the last lecture, today we are going to start the shear force and bending moment for the beam. Shear force and bending moment for beams. All of you know that the beam is a horizontal member of a structure which is subjected to the lateral loading. There are different type of beams here which are subjected to the different type of lateral loading. Lateral loading means the line of action is perpendicular to the axis. Such type of loads are known as the lateral loading. Okay. Now, when it is subjected to the lateral loading, what will be the effect of that lateral loading on the beam? And whenever any component is subjected to such a lateral loading, how to design, how to decide the dimension of that? To design that particular component which is subjected to the lateral loading, the first and most important step in designing is to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. Because for designing that component, we require to calculate the shear force and bending moment, and we have to do the design. We are considering that bending moment and the shear force. Now, for a mechanical student, in this lesson, most of the time I am going to consider this term as a beam, which is a horizontal member of a structure. For mechanical student also, here there will be some steel structure need to be designed. As well as there are a number of components which are subjected to the lateral loading, even in mechanical engineering also. For example, the shaft. Their shaft is a horizontal member most of the time, which is supported by bearing, and on the shaft there are some pulleys, some gears mounted, and the force exerted by that pulleys and the gears on the shaft is also considered as a lateral loading. Okay, so while designing the shaft also, for the shaft we need to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, particularly the bending moment diagram. Okay, so at that time you have to draw the bending moment diagram, and that's why you should know this concept also. Here, so for mechanical as well as civil, this concept is very important: shear force and bending moment diagram. Before starting or before explaining what is means by shear force and bending moment, at the beginning of this semester, here when we studied the bridge course, at that time I told you the different types of beams. I'll revise in 5 minutes. Types of beams. Here, the first one is a simply supported beam when it is supported at its two extreme end. Second one is a cantilever beam when it is supported at one end and other end is free. For the simply supported beam, one support is mostly it is a hinge support and other one is a roller. For the cantilever, one end is supported and other end is free. Such type of beam is known as a cantilever beam, and for cantilever beam, this support is the fixed support. I hope that at fixed supports, there how many unknowns are there, how the fixed support offer the reactive forces on the beam. Yes, so there are 3 unknowns: horizontal component, vertical component, and reactive moment. And the third type of beam is overhanging beam. Here, when the part of the beam is extended beyond the support, such type of beam is known as the overhanging beam. Okay. Then types of support to the beam. One is a hinge support, where there are 2 unknowns. Other one is a roller support. There is only 1 unknown. Fixed support, there are 3 unknowns here. Then there is an internal hinge also. All of you know what is the internal hinge. When we have studied in the bridge program, at that time we have solved the sum. When there is an internal hinge, how to calculate. Here today the reading work for you, just refer this previous pages of your notebook and go through how to find out the support reactions when there is an internal hinge. We have solved such type of questions. Okay. The next one is the types of loading. Point load, uniformly distributed load, and uniformly varying load. These are some of the loads which we are going to consider in this lesson. Okay, point load, UDL and UVL. All of you know what is this, how to deal with this, how to convert them into an equivalent point load, what will be the point of application of that equivalent point load. Okay, But one important thing is in this lesson, while drawing the shear force as well as bending moment diagram, as well as while calculating the support reactions also, personally I will suggest when there is a distributed load like a UDL and UVL, don't convert them into an equivalent point load physically. Mentally you have to think that way only, but no need to do it physically. Okay. So these are the basic things which we require for the shear force and bending moment diagram. Now I'm going to explain you what is the shear force and what is bending moment. Let's consider, I will consider, actually take one example. Let's consider, suppose this is one simply supported beam. Consider this load is suppose 5 kilonewton. This load is 10 kilonewton, or this is 10 kilonewton. And let this is 5 kilonewton. This is A, B, let this is 2 meter, 2 meter and 2 meter. So you will get something RA and you will get this RB. Okay, you can calculate this RA and RB support actions, you can calculate. Since there is no any inclined force, there is no any externally horizontal force, so the horizontal component of reactive force will be 0. So there will be only vertical component at the support. Okay. Now, these are the lateral loading. Now, when lateral loading are there, actually these loads are acting tangential to the cross section. This external applied load are tangential to the cross section. Actually, this is also tangential to the cross section. Now, let's consider a section of this beam. I'm considering the section of this beam. Let's consider this section XX. So, the concept is that if the entire beam is in equilibrium, its each and every part must be in equilibrium. So, if I consider the section XX and if I draw the FBD of this left part, this is the beam. Here, this point is A. Let this is C, and let this is the section XX. Okay. At A, there is RA. We know how much is the magnitude that we can calculate, and at point C, here one 10 kilonewton load is there. Okay. Can anybody tell me how much is the RA and RB? Here one is RA plus RB equal to 15. Summation of Fy equal to 0. If I take the moment at point B, here then 5 into 2 plus 10 into 4 equal to 6 RA. So RA equal to 50 plus 40, 90 divided by 6. How much is that? Tell me how much is that? Unmute. Unmute yourself and tell me the answer.
15.
पहले समझ में नहीं आता है क्या मैं बोलता हूँ तो?
Sir, mic.
RA equal to 15. What happened? Is that correct? Is that equation
Yes,
is correct? Equation is correct? Equation is wrong. This equation itself is wrong. I don't know from where I have written this here, but I have taken the moment about point B. Okay. So 5 into 2, I have written here 10. I don't know why I have written that 10. Okay. Then moment of this 10 into 4, correct. And moment of this RA. Okay, these are the anti-clockwise moment which is equal to the clockwise moment. So RA into 6, it was correct. Okay, now how much is this? 40 plus 10, 50. 50 divided by 6. Now tell me.
8.33.
8.33. So if RA is 8.33, how much is the RB? It is 15 minus 8.33. How much? 6.67?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I consider the FBD of the left part of this section, I have considered an imaginary section XX in between C and D anywhere. And if I consider the FBD of the left part, since the entire beam is in equilibrium, its each and every part is in equilibrium. So this part is also in equilibrium. Okay. Here. Now this force is 10 kilonewton and RA is 8.33 Newton. Now since this part is in equilibrium, it must satisfy the condition of equilibrium, isn't it? Here, now to satisfy the condition of equilibrium, now only to satisfy this equation, summation of Fy equal to 0. If I observe vertically downward force is 10 and Ra is 8.33. Yes, means if I consider only these two forces, there is unbalanced force. Okay, and this unbalanced force is tangential to the cross section, and that's why it is known as the unbalanced shear force. To balance this shear force, here one resisting internal force is induced at this section. Okay, one internal resisting force is induced at this cross section. And this internal resisting force which is induced at this cross section here is known as a shear force. This is known as a shear force at this section. The shear force at this section will be different. At this section will be different. So this is the internal resisting force induced at that particular section. Here, and since it is tangential to the cross section, that's why we can say that it is a shear force at that particular section. So it is the internal resisting force which is equal and opposite to the external unbalanced shear force acting on that particular part. Okay. Now, if I want to calculate this shear force, here again I can use this summation of Fy equal to 0. So I will get this 8.33 minus 10 plus shear force is equal to 0, means I will get the shear force at this section XX is equal to 10 minus 8.33. Isn't it? Okay. So to calculate the shear force at any particular section, here what we have to do, if I want to calculate the shear force at this section, here I have to take the algebraic summation of the vertical forces on any one side of that section. पूरे बीम के वर्टिकल फोर्सेस का समेशन नहीं है, ये क्या किया है हमने, इट इज द समेशन ऑफ वर्टिकल फोर्सेस ऑन left hand side of the section, left side of section. Here, have understood this? This is the resisting shear force acting at this particular section. So, how to calculate the shear force at any particular section? Shear force is changing. As we move, if I change the position of the section, the shear force will change. Here, how it changes and how to calculate that, I will tell you later. Here, just understand what is the shear force and how to calculate that. Okay, and since the shear force is varying across the length of the beam, here for this beam we are going to draw the shear force diagram. It is known as the SFD, shear force diagram. What is shear force diagram? Shear force diagram is nothing but a graph of shear force versus length of the beam. So along this length of the beam, how the shear force varies. Here, if we plot that graph is known as the shear force diagram. Understood? Here, we have to draw the shear force diagram only, shear force and bending moment diagram only. Here, at your level of strength of material, you have to just draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. But for civil student, yeah, there is more importance of that shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Here, the area under the shear force diagram, the area under bending moment diagram, the moment of the area under bending moment diagram, here represents something slope and deflection. When we need to calculate the slope and deflection, we need to calculate that area also. Okay, so it is important for them to calculate the slope and deflection also in structural analysis particularly. Okay, for mechanical student, you have to just draw the shear force and bending moment diagram to know the maximum shear force and maximum bending moment acting on this beam. Because that maximum shear force and maximum bending moment we need to use for designing that particular component. Okay, and for that we are going to draw this graph here. So what is shear force diagram? This is the, what I explained is the shear force at that particular section, and the shear force varies. So when we plot this variation in a shear force along the length of this beam, here the diagram which we'll get is known as the shear force diagram. Okay, so how to calculate the shear force at any particular section? So shear force at any particular section is the algebraic summation of the vertical forces on, here I have written it as a left hand side, but even if you take the algebraic summation on right hand side, you are going to get the same answer. Understood? Here, so remember one thing, if you need to calculate the shear force at any section, they are very, very important. Okay. shear force at any particular section is the algebraic summation. Sigma stands for the algebraic summation of vertical forces. Vertical forces, to be more precise, these are the lateral forces. Lateral forces mean the forces whose line of action are perpendicular to the axis of the beam. Here means, for example, suppose if the beam is vertical. In the last lecture I told you that see such type of frame sum also we have to solve. So for this member AB, these are the lateral member, lateral forces which are perpendicular to the axis of this member. Okay, clear? So it is not necessary that it is always vertical, but for the beam, these are the vertical forces. Okay. So shear force is nothing but the algebraic summation of vertical forces, or we can say that it is the lateral forces on any one side of the section. Any one side of section. Now, why I am talking about the section. Remember one thing, I told you that the shear force is nothing but an internal resisting force. And you know that whenever we need to calculate any internal force, we need to expose that force. And how can we expose that force, any internal force? By considering an imaginary section and drawing the separate FBD. Here in mechanics also, we used to do the same thing. Suppose these are the two different bodies which are in contact with each other. So internal this reactive force acting by these two balls on each other is the internal force. अगर ये कैलकुलेट करने का है तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इसको पहले एक्सपोज करना पड़ेगा. Without exposing we cannot calculate that because it is equal and opposite. So it cancels the effect of each other. Clear? So to calculate this internal force, we need to expose that. And how can we expose this? Here by separating this. So here also, to find out the shear force at this point, here we need to expose that shear force. And to expose that, we are taking the section. Okay. Clear? So how I can get the shear force at this particular section? It is the summation of vertical or lateral forces on any one side of the section. Clear? Whenever I'll ask you what is the shear force at any particular section, यार जब तक ये लेसन फिनिश नहीं होता है, अगेन इन द बेंडिंग स्ट्रेसेस आल्सो फॉर सिविल इट इज इन द फ्रेम एंड एवरीवेयर. Whenever I'll ask you what is the shear force at any particular section, so shear force at any particular section is nothing but the algebraic summation of vertical forces, that is the lateral forces, on any one side of the section. कौन से भी एक साइड के वर्टिकल फोर्सेस का आपको समेशन लेने का है, कौन से भी एक साइड के पूरे बीम का समेशन, पूरे बीम पे जो फोर्सेस एक्ट होते हैं उसका समेशन नहीं. You have to take the algebraic summation of the forces on any one side of the section. You can consider this example. Okay, here, and even if you take the summation of the forces on right hand side, you are going to get the same answer. Here, so whenever I'll ask you what is the shear force at any particular section, अगर मैं पूछता हूँ कि यहाँ पे shear force कितना है, let this section is YY. So take the algebraic summation of the forces on any one side, आपको यहाँ का shear force मिल जाएगा. Understood? Here, so shear force is the summation of the vertical forces on any one side of the section. I hope that it is clear to you. Okay. Now, since we are taking the algebraic summation of the forces, we need to use the proper sign convention. Clear? So, what is the sign convention for the forces while taking this summation of the forces? What will be the sign convention? If I consider this section XX, here sign convention may be different. Here, but you have to, while solving the sum, you have to refer this sign convention. And it is not hard and fast कि ये जो sign convention बोल रहा हूँ आपको यही use करने का है, आप इसे उल्टा भी ले सकते हैं. Understood? Clear? So, but I suggest personally go for this sign convention only. Okay. In some of the books you may get the opposite sign convention also. That doesn't make any difference. Okay. So, if this is the section for taking the algebraic summation of the forces, here this is the sign convention for the shear force. On left hand side of the force section, the vertically upward force you have to take positive. And on right side of the section, you have to take downward force positive. Okay, so this is the positive shear force. It means that the effect of the shear force to shear of the beam this way Here, this is the section on left hand side upward and right hand side downward. So this shear force can be considered as a positive shear, or this is the positive shear. Understood? Here on left hand side, upward force positive, means downward force negative on left hand side, and on right hand side, downward force positive and upward force negative. Okay, because you have to take the algebraic summation on any one side. If you have the choice to take the algebraic summation of the forces on any one side of the section जहाँ पे आपको shear force calculate करने का है, so better you take that side which is easy to calculate. Okay, जिस पे कम forces है वो side ले लो. Here, but you have to use this sign convention. Here, so this is all about the shear force. Okay. Now, next one is the bending moment. Bending moment. Okay. Now, if I consider the same FBD, this is RA, 8.33. This is 10 kilonewton. Okay, this distance is 2 meter. Let this is 1 meter. This is at the middle section. I am considering that at the middle. And here this is a shear force. How much is the shear force? It is 10 minus 8.33. How much is that?
1.67.
1.67. Okay. Now I told you that with this shear force the beam is in equilibrium. But is it in complete equilibrium? For the complete equilibrium, there should not be any unbalanced force. Unbalanced forces should be equal to 0 and unbalanced moment should also be equal to 0. ये condition इधर satisfy हो रहा है. But whether this condition is satisfying here, let's check. If I take the moment about A, algebraic summation of the moment of all forces about point A, what I will get? Or you can take it at this point. Okay, this point is suppose X. Let's take the moment of all the forces about point X. Moment of 1.67 is 0. Moment of this 10 is anti-clockwise. Let anti-clockwise is positive, so 10 into 1. And moment of this 8.33 is clockwise, so minus 8.33 into 3. So you won't get it equal to 0. Algebraic summation of moment, you won't get equal to 0. Okay, it means that with these three forces, this part is not in equilibrium. Forces are balanced, but moments are not balanced. There is some unbalanced moment in the system. If you calculate this, this is the unbalanced moment present in the system. Okay. So, to balance this moment, here one resisting moment is induced at this section. जहाँ पे आपने section लिया, here there is one resisting moment is induced at that point. Okay, this is the resisting moment induced at this section XX. Okay, and this resisting moment induced at this section is known as the bending moment. It is known as bending moment. Understood? Here, so this is the unbalanced moment acting at this system, and this is the resisting moment which is induced at that section. It is not the external applied moment. This is the external applied moment. And to balance this external applied moment, one moment of resistance is induced there. Remember this word, moment of resistance. Here are resisting moment. Here induced at this section. This resisting moment at this section is known as a bending moment. Okay. Here, then how to calculate the bending moment? At any particular section, how to calculate the bending moment? So to calculate the bending moment is similar to this here. So bending moment at any section is nothing but the algebraic summation of the moment. Here this is the summation of the forces, whereas this is the summation of moment. So how we can calculate the bending moment at any section? So bending moment at any section is the algebraic summation of moment. It is the algebraic summation of the moment of all forces. It is the algebraic summation of the moment of all forces on any one side of section. On any one side of section. Listen, it is not the summation of the moment of all forces on the beam. Okay, if I take the summation of the moment of all forces on the beam, what will happen? Tell me, what will happen? If I take the moment of all forces on a beam, summation of the moment of all forces on a beam, क्या होगा?
It will come 0.
It will be 0, right? Because it is in equilibrium. Since it is in equilibrium, so summation of the moment of all forces has to be equal to 0. But if I want to calculate the resisting moment or the bending moment at any particular section, here how to calculate that? It is the summation of moment of all forces on any one side of the section. जहां पे आपको कैलकुलेट करने का है बेंडिंग मोमेंट, वहां पे एक इमेजिनरी सेक्शन कंसीडर करने का है और वो सेक्शन के लेफ्ट हैंड साइड या राइट हैंड साइड के वर्टिकल फोर्सेस का मोमेंट लेने का है. That summation of the moment of all forces on any one side gives you the bending moment. Understood? Here, now here again we are taking the summation of the moment. Here, since we are taking the summation of the moment, we have to use particular some sign convention for the moment. Here, so what sign convention we are going to do? Consider this section XX. So on left hand side of the section, we are considering the clockwise moment positive, and on right hand side of the section the anti-clockwise moment positive. Means if I consider this as a section, sorry, this as a beam and this is the section, on left hand side of the section, if force is producing clockwise moment, we are going to consider it as a positive. Whereas on right hand side, if the force is producing anti-clockwise moment, we are going to consider it as positive. Here, so this is known as a positive bending moment. और उससे उल्टा अगर है तो negative. Means here, if I want to calculate the bending moment at this section XX, okay, so this force produces the clockwise moment about this section. We have to take this moment about the section. So this force produces the clockwise moment on left hand side. So on left hand side the clockwise moment is positive. So it is plus 8.33 into 3. Okay, you have to use this sign convention. ये sign convention मैंने अलग use किया है. मैंने directly just for explanation I have considered this. Okay, actually this we got is the resisting moment, and ये जो मिलेगा हम लोगों को by using this sign convention, this is the external applied bending moment. And external applied bending moment and the resisting moment, here they are equal and opposite. Okay, clear? So this bending moment at x axis is 8.33 into x, it is clockwise on the left hand side, so it is positive, and moment of this 10 is anti-clockwise on left hand side, so anti-clockwise is negative, so it is 10 into 1. So this gives you the external applied bending moment, which is equal to the moment of resistance. Okay, this is the moment of resistance here, and this is the external applied bending moment. These two are equal and opposite. Okay, so for calculation of bending moment, you have to remember this sign convention. Understood this? Okay, very easy. यार अगर इतना समझ में आया आपको, यार तो 70% लेसन आ गया. Okay, so whenever while solving the sum, whenever I'll ask you what is the shear force, just you have to take, कहां पे भी अगर मैं पूछता हूं कि what is the shear force at this section YY, तो वो सेक्शन YY के कौन से भी एक साइड के वर्टिकल फोर्सेस का समेशन ले लो by using the proper sign convention, the value gives you the shear force at that point. If I ask you what is the bending moment, तो उसके कौन से भी एक साइड के फोर्सेस का मोमेंट का समेशन ले लो, that gives you the bending moment by using the proper sign convention. Okay, now last part, let's consider this section. Consider this section. This is a part of the beam and this is the section. On left hand side of the section, the bending moment is clockwise. On left hand side of the section, the bending moment is clockwise, and on right hand side, the bending moment is anti-clockwise. Now, if at any particular section on left hand side there is a clockwise bending moment and on right hand side anti-clockwise bending moment, here then the tendency of this bending moment is to bend the beam this way. ये beam को ऐसे bend करने का try करेगा. Okay, understood? So it is little bit confusing, this sign convention. That's why I'm going to tell you this. Okay, so if the tendency of the movement, listen carefully, if the tendency of the movement is to turn the beam concave upward, अगर ये bending moment produced by the forces, if a tendency of a beam is to bend the beam concave upward, here such type of bending moment is known as a sagging bending moment. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Sagging bending moment. ये इसका ही इफेक्ट है. Clear? ऐसे स्माइली जैसा. Okay, clear? So when the tendency of the bending moment is to bend the beam, here such type of concave upward, then it is known as the sagging bending moment, and the sagging bending moment is considered as positive. Okay, means you can observe that here when I'll consider the section XX and when I'll take the moment on left hand side, so this force produces the moment like this. Means this force tends to rotate the beam this way. This bending moment tends to rotate the beam this way. Means it is a sagging bending moment and hence it is positive. Whereas अगर इसके opposite वाला लेता हूं, if this is the section and on left hand side if there is a anti-clockwise moment and on right hand side there is a clockwise moment. Okay, if such type of moment is there, then the tendency of this moment is to bend the beam, such type of pattern will be there. Okay, understood? This is the tendency to rotate the beam, clear, such that in which the convex part upward, concave part downward. Clear? So when the tendency of a beam is to rotate the beam convex part upward, such type of bending moment is known as a hogging bending moment. It is known as hogging bending moment, and hogging bending moment considered as negative. So if any force produces the bending moment which tends to bend the beam this way, hogging way, here in which the convex is upward, here or sad face. This is a smiley face, this is a sad face, you can say. Okay, so when it is bending the beam such that the convex part is upward, suppose the moment of this 10 kilonewton about this x-axis. So this moment produced by this 10 kilonewton tends to rotate the beam this way. So when it tends to rotate the beam this way, it is a hogging bending moment which you can consider as a negative. Clear? Very important. Here, while solving the sum, I am not going to using this only, but I am not going to refer this. Clear? I'll just say that it is producing the sagging bending moment, so take it positive. It is producing the hogging bending moment, so take it negative. So when the force produces the sagging bending, means you don't have to bother whether the force is on right hand side or left hand side. Whether it is right hand side or left hand side, if it producing the bending moment such that the beam tends to move upward, here then it is sagging. If the bending moment tends to rotate the beam move downward, then it is hogging. If that is the case, consider it as a positive and negative respectively. Okay, so it is very important. Clear? इसके बाद में we are going to learn about the bending stresses. Clear? So when any beam is subjected to the sagging bending moment, ये ऐसे bend होगा. और when it will bend like this upper layer will be in compression and lower layer will be in tension. इससे आपको decide करने का है कि कौन से layer में कौन से type का stress induce होगा. This is the stresses induced because of the bending moment. That's why these are known as the bending stresses. जिसका nature रहता है compressive and tensile. Here, whereas the bending, when it is subjected to the hogging bending moment, then this upper layer are in tension and lower layer are in compression. I hope that you must have understood this. Okay, so we'll in detail we'll study this later when we study the bending stresses. Clear? But at present, you have to remember about this sagging bending moment and hogging bending moment. Sagging is positive, hogging is negative, and you have to do the practice of this only. Here and not this. Any doubt? Any doubt? Here. So you have to remember this only. This is sagging, which you have to consider positive, and this is hogging, negative. Okay. Okay. For the day, it is enough. Clear? Today, I have the exam duty. I have to conduct the exam of the 5th and 6th semester student. University exam is there. So we'll stop here. And from tomorrow, listen. Every day, I'm going to tell you about the lecture schedule of strength of material. Clear? Because from tomorrow onwards, my schedule is not fixed. Okay, so every day morning I will let you know what is the timing of the lecture. It may happen that the lecture may be at 3 or 4 o'clock. Okay. Any doubt? Any doubt? Now I will give the 2 minutes. Here, write your name and roll number in the chat box for the attendance. Okay. Thank you.